So you're dealing with anxiety. I'm about to share with you the 4 things that you can do to take back control quickly and easily. But stick around until the end of the video because as someone who has dealt with and struggled with anxiety for most of my life, there's something that you need to know. First off, anxiety, it's all in your head. It sounds silly and obvious, but knowing this helps you understand how to overcome anxiety quickly, and that's by getting out of your head. So taking yourself out of your head is priority number 1. Now, you can do this a lot of different ways. You can do it by looking at something and focusing on it. Candle flames, campfires, waves, those are the kind of things that feel hypnotic to look at, and they help you get yourself out of your head. The more you focus on them, the more out of your head you get. You can focus on the sound of something. White noise like a fan is very useful. Understand, when you are doing this, your head is going to try everything it can to pull you back in with thoughts, fears, and concerns. This is normal and nothing that you need to feel upset about. Don't beat yourself up or feel like you failed. Anxiety is going to do whatever it can to guilt and make you feel out of control. But it's all a lie. You have control. So rather than beating yourself up, feel gratitude that you caught it in the first place, and then go back to focusing on the thing outside of your head until the anxiety passes, because this too shall pass. To take this to the next step, focus on the big things first, and then work your way into focusing on the smaller and more hard to see or obscure details. The more effort it takes, the more focus, the better. Because where attention goes, energy flows. Number 2, breathing. It sounds boring and corny, doesn't it? And it is. But boring and corny is also the most powerful tool at your disposal when used correctly. While similar to number 1, what makes your breath the most powerful option is that it follows you everywhere you go. And unlike those other things, you can carry it with you. You can actually feel it and really focus in on the sensations, the really small things that require a lot of attention, like the sensation of the breath going through your nostrils as it enters your nose. This is why it's the most powerful anchor and why it's highly used during meditations. Knowing that the ego will fight you. It will do whatever it can to divert your focus away from your breath. But you gotta make sure you don't feel shame. You don't feel guilt. This is normal. This is part of the process. Everything comes and goes. Your breath is the strongest tool, the strongest anchor that you have in this present moment. And where anxiety can't live is in the present moment. Anxiety is a future-based feeling. It's a future-based emotion. So focusing on slow, deep breaths in and out and feeling the sensation as it comes and goes will take you out of your head. And doing this is also science in using your parasympathetic system. This is basically the switch within your body that turns off the fight, the flight, the freeze. Scientifically, anxiety and calm, they can't coexist. They can't be present at the same time within you. It's one system or the other. So leveraging your parasympathetic system by using your breath to tell your body to feel calm is a powerful tool that will help you right now. One of the best breath techniques that I've come across is you breathe in as deeply as you can. And then when you're at that point where you feel like you can't breathe anymore, you take another breath until you're completely full. And then you slowly release it. This automatically triggers your parasympathetic system. It helps you to regain control over anxiety quick and easy. Number 3, activities. What are emotions? Emotions are energy in motion. Emotion. Anxiety being an emotion, if you can redirect that energy from out of your head into something else, it'll burn it all instead of cycling through you like a vicious circle. The key to this skill is finding what works best for you. Some like walking, some like running, some like exercise, some like games, some like coloring, some like crosswords or word searches. The goal is to take control of that energy in motion and make it work for you. Put it to good use. Number 4 is meditating. Now, this sounds counterintuitive to what I said earlier about The key is getting out of your head. With meditation, you're doing the exact opposite. But there's a big difference. Rather than running from it and redirecting it, you stand your ground and you face it head on. Now, this isn't for everyone, not right away. And it may be something that will take you trial and error in order to achieve. But as you meditate, you start to strengthen those muscles. And as you strengthen those muscles, you can start to bring yourself out of what feels like that tailspin. The key with meditating is to shine a light on what you're seeing and feeling and accepting it with gratitude. Acknowledge it with love and allow yourself permission to release it. Let it go like watching clouds flow in the sky or like watching waves in the lake. As it forms, so too does it dissipate. The thoughts will continue to come back like waves, and so too will the feelings. You continue to rinse and repeat your acknowledgement, your gratitude, and your release, and you will notice that it will start to dissipate and it will start to come back less and less. So those were the 4 things. Now, remember when I said at the start of the video, there's something that you need to know? Here it is. These are all just band-aids, but all hope is not lost. Here's why, and why this is important for you to know. Anxiety itself is natural, and it's not directly a problem. Anxiety comes from your lower part of your brain, also known as the subconscious mind or your monkey mind. Your subconscious part of your brain has 2 jobs. One of them is to protect you from danger. That's the part that is fight, flight, or freeze. Anxiety is what helped humans long ago, when we lived in inhospitable conditions with dangers around every corner. Nowadays, its role is still to protect us, but most of us don't experience actual danger on a day-to-day basis. The conscious part of your brain, which is known as the upper part or prefrontal cortex, is the part you actually think from. This is the part of your brain that has 0 control over anxiety. Here's why this is important to know. It takes your conscious part of your brain between 500 to 600 milliseconds to identify and register an experience. Now, it may not seem like a lot, but physiology-wise, it's a lifetime. Especially when you compare to the fact that your subconscious brain takes only 50 milliseconds to register. And that's a good thing, because if you're about to be hit by a bus, you'll have a better chance of jumping out of the way and surviving with a 50 millisecond instinctual reaction rather than having to think about it and then jumping. So it's great that it's plugged directly into you to take action from. But the flip side, this means no matter how much you try, and trust me, I've tried, you can't outthink your brain. You can't outthink your anxiety. It has a direct download into you. So anxiety is actually only a problem when it happens a lot or is having a negative impact on your mental, physical, or emotional health, or a combination of them. Using these skills we talked about, they will help, and they will help quickly, but they're only band-aids. Some people, and it's okay, do need medication to support them either short-term or long-term. And as people, you will have moments in your life where anxiety is going to be higher due to life events. But in a lot of cases, anxiety will continue to be a problem until you get your hands dirty and dig into the soil and address the root cause of the issues. And you may not like the answers that you'll find, but the more you can work through and release what impacts you, the more control you will gain over these struggles. So today's EmpowerUp action step to help you take back control is to pick one of the skills that we talked about here today and getting better with it. Going through the practice, going through the motions, building those skills, flexing those muscles. And if you need support, don't be afraid to put yourself first and get the support that you need. The more you take back control, the more powerful you become as the creator. Much love. Let's grow.